This is Paul. Yeah. The law. Yeah. hmm Let's see here. Yeah. Branches of private law. Antitrust. Yeah. Uh-huh. Copyright, debt, garnishment. Yeah. The garnishment of my child support. Yeah. The state doesn't seem to have much problem garnishing my wages when I didn't get any notice. Right. And then there's the good possibility of the fraudulent use of assessments and evaluations. Now, I did what the law requires. I responded. I waited for you to do what the law requires. You never served me. Yeah. And then I find out what the actual confidential report in the sealed envelope is. Yeah. And you said, well, as I'm looking at it, I don't get to see those. Right. Must have been a good reason for having it. What was the good reason? Why was it necessary to do a confidential report? Yes, in a sealed envelope when petitioning the judge for dissolution of marriage. There wasn't any arrest in the state of Washington. Yes, there was no court ordered anything, except for a condition of a protection order. Yeah. Now, I just wanted to know, considering my truthfulness, did my wife say something that you didn't want me to know? Well, it's nice that you issued a protection order, yeah, because of the false accusation of mental illness. But the truth of the matter is, I'm not mentally ill, yeah. And the idea that you used this false accusation of mental illness to remove my right of custody, yeah, without me ever appearing before a court, yes, without there being any arrest, well, I was found not guilty. Yeah, you can't use the one in 2012. Right. Record was expunged from Guam. You can't use the arrest that took place on the 4th of January. I wasn't in Sequim, Washington. You can't use the arrest that took place on September 19th of 2017. I wasn't in Jefferson County. Yes, there was no actual accusation of domestic violence or child abuse. There was no accusation. Now, you were paying people to manufacture fake crimes, yes, so that my wife could have custody of my sons, yes. And quite possibly you were bribing people to make fake assessments and evaluations so that when petitioning the court with a confidential sealed report, yeah, that I wasn't able to read what they actually said, yeah, because of an arrest that took place on Guam, that you're sure, yes, that this was all legal. Did you receive anything in compensation for doing what you did? That well, see, there's this problem. Yeah. We have a couple laws that I'm going to want to have enforced. Yeah. And I know, but the code of conduct for judges, yeah. And then there's numerous ethics, public statutes. There's ethical questions about doing it this way. Yeah. Saying that somebody has the right to do an assessment or evaluation without the other individual's acknowledgement of what they're doing. Federal public defender employees, yep. Guide to the judiciary policy. And then let's see here. Code of conduct applies to all federal public defender employees when actually employed. Yeah. There is no code of conduct if you're not employed. Yes. In fact, why don't you give me all the members of each and every bar association? Yes. And then every member of the ABA and all the members of the AALS. Yeah. Nationwide. Oh, and then the 100 law schools, because I'm kind of thinking I have a new lawsuit for law schools. See, I've been emailing them about forgery, fraud, false arrest. Oh, and now I'm going to email them about me suing them for me being required to use private bills of law. See, a lot of people are going to want an attorney. Yes. And you'd say that this act to amend the judicial system of the United States, it's not applicable to the federal tort. Well, a lot of law schools are going to have to educate their students about private bills. And I'm going to include it that every law school, right, is going to educate them about private bills. Because all the members of the American Bar Association, I'll give them all a copy of the private bills. Yes. And I'll give a copy to the AALS. Yes. Of private bills. Yes. So that they can inform their students when going to law school that there's a special form of law called the private bill. Yes, where if a citizen of the United States is deprived of their rights, yes, and then discriminated against because of the refusal to enforce the laws, yes, they get to sue Congress for, yes, what's known as a private law, yes, that is enforceable in the whole United States and possibly the rest of the world. In fact, why don't you give me the law schools in every nation, yes, of the world, and all the lawyers in the European Union, yes, and now get me the European Union? No, South America. Could you call the nations of South America? See, we have the Ameripol, yes, the Interpol, and the Europol, and I emailed a lot of constitutional courts in South America. Now I want all the attorneys there. See, quite often when you pass a bar association, right, and you do that attorney oath, yeah, state of Washington, and then you do the oath of admission, each and every Supreme Court in each state, yeah, and then you do that special attorney oath in the Supreme Court of the United States. A lot of constitutional courts throughout the world, they have similar requirements that if you have any knowledge of any crime, you get a copy of Paul's private bill. Now, let's say that any nation of the world